Hello and welcome to The Telescope. Every week we'll bring you a fresh insight from the biggest car market in the world. Today we're on a static preview event of the Leapmotor D99. This is the MPV version of the D19 SUV we've showed you roughly about a month ago. I've shot this car previously actually when we were shooting the D19 SUV static review. This car back then was available for us to shoot, but only the exterior footage. Back then the interior wasn't finished. And I just said no, because it's just, well, today this is a navy blue box. Back then it was just a black box and you could only shot the exterior. To be honest, the overall shape of this car is not one of the more exciting MPV boxes on the Chinese car market today. And Leapmotor said this car has got this and that design features. I said, I agree, but it's still some design features on a black box. So I just said no, but everything changed after the D19 SUV went on sale with a shocking starting price of just 219,000 renminbi. If you remember, I said I would be happy if the D19 SUV starts from 249,000 renminbi, and I'm someone who's very familiar with Leapmotor's pricing structure, and I've made consistently accurate pricing predictions in my previous Telescope videos. So for the D19 SUV to be starting from 219,000 renminbi is such a crazy price that, if you remember, I said the D19 SUV's interior was lacking some premium ambience, and the range extender itself is an off-the-shelf unit supplied from Geely. It's not one of the most cutting-edge, fuel-efficient range extenders available on the market today, but that crazy starting price just renders all of those imperfections to be totally irrelevant. The D19 SUV became the goalkeeper of these 9 Series 3-row 6-seater massive SUVs. If you want to break into the market now, you first have to benchmark against the D19 because it's that good. This is still by and large the same interior from the D19 SUV, but with just one change. This is now running a navy blue leather color option. This definitely slightly lifts its interior to be more upmarket, but I just feel like this wood trim and all of the base color scheme of this cabin is designed to fit leather that has a lighter color scheme. It's not designed to fit this navy blue color, but still a welcome improvement over the D19 SUV. I'm in the second row seats, but I don't know if you can tell, I'm facing backwards. That's the first row. I'm now face to face with the third row passenger because this Leapmotor D99 MPV has got rotating seats here on the second row. Now on this review guide, the specific line to describe this second row seat says, this is the first car within 500,000 RMB price range to be running this kind of rotating airline style zero gravity seats. What's the car this car is trying to avoid? It's the Li Auto Mega. We've showed you that car roughly this time last year. That is the first model that's over 500,000 renminbi, but running this kind of rotating airline style zero gravity seats first. If you remember, I did a presentation on the back of the Li Auto Mega. And it's important to keep the price point in mind because this car is not just a sniff within 500,000 renminbi. I'm projecting the base spec of this D99 to be starting from 239,000, and that will be a crushing blow to the likes of Denza D9, which starts at roughly 299,000 renminbi. And yes, the base spec of this version, the 239,000 renminbi version, might not have these rotating seats as standard, so they will be running more or less the same kind of second row seats, and it's going to be at least 50,000, if not 60,000 renminbi cheaper. I think enough has been said. Now it's already got the rotating seats facing backwards with the third row passenger. How could it not have a table? Now, we've showed you a table like this in the Li Auto Mega, but the way the Li Auto Mega treated that table, very much like an aftermarket accessory, but here, this Leapmotor treat this table so much more seriously. Bear with me. Here underneath this floor is the supporting structure of this table is buried into the floor of this car. Let that sink in for a moment. This rises up, and now I'm gonna fit this on top. Now, voila, you have this table. Now, this is pre-production, so I've asked Leapmotor, this kind of wobble will be solved in the final production version. But this table is not an accessory. Leapmotor has thought about this table and designed it from the very beginning for this table to be part of this car's basic body structure. Another highlight of this car's back cabin is here sitting in the third row. Have you noticed how big this opening of the sunroof is? It opens all the way to the third row passenger's face. And have you noticed I said this is a sunroof, not a panoramic glass roof, because 你好，小林，
在呢，
打开天窗。
搞定啦。
This is not a glass roof because it can open. It's now very rare. I think this is one of the first MPV to have sunroof here on the third row. I have to say, even we are inside the studio, this feeling of opening up to the nature is very nice. Back to the conventional seating position, the front two rows are not set to my position. I'm not trying to play Leapmotor any favor here. This is the default 6-seater mode. You can activate this in the infotainment, and this is the default position for the second row seat when the third row seat has passengers. And you can see it's a very highly usable third row. This side window, I must say, is smaller compared to the likes of the Li Auto Mega, but you gain the visibility back here by having this massive sunroof opening. This third row is very comfortable even for fully grown-up adults like me. And that's not all. This car has learned all the tricks from its pioneers like the XPeng X9. This car, just like the Honda Odyssey, can fold the third row seats back into the floor. But just like the XPeng X9, this process is completely electronically powered, it's completely automatic. And I think this car will also threaten the likes of XPeng X9, because previously to have this kind of rotating third row seats back into the floor, the cheapest MPV you can buy is the XPeng X9, but this will be at least 50,000 RMB cheaper than the XPeng X9. Having said that many good stuff about this car, here are some things I think still needs to be improved. If we just zoom in on this section, it's unnecessarily busy, and I have just noticed there must be a better way of not exposing the windscreen wiper like this. This must have created quite some turbulence, not good for the overall drag level of this car. But here, zooming on this section, this part is unnecessarily complicated. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 body panels all joining up in this very small section, and to line up all of them properly is an unnecessary headache. I've just noticed another thing. This part, notice this part is navy blue, this is paint, but this seems to be a sticker. So this is a last minute patch. There must be a better way to do this section. Secondly, this roof section, just look at the roof of the likes of Zeekr 009. I know that car is over 100,000 RMB more expensive than this, but there must be a better way, just visually, without hugely increasing the cost, to improve the visual impression of this top panel. And thirdly are these airline style lights. I like them a lot. You can rotate them, but actually the light it actually gives out is quite diffused. So what's the point of having a rotation light head but a very diffused light? Just make this light more directional. If this car does start from 239,000 RMB, this D99 will become a tornado in the MPV market of China. And having compared with the XPeng X9, I know people will say this car's ADAS cannot and will not trouble the XPeng X9 in the foreseeable future, and I agree. But given the massive price difference of at least 50,000, if not 60,000 RMB, I don't think people will care that much. I still recommend this car's range extender version over its pure electric version. As I touched on in the D19 review, the range extender version has so many interesting technical innovations where the pure electric version it's okay, but it's not as special as the range extender version. That is all from the Telescope today. If you enjoyed this video, keep watching, keep subscribing. More videos coming along very soon.